Self. Selves.
Selves?
Selves.
Selves. This is Self. That's Self. I am also Self. We're
How about
selves.
names?
My name. I am Studley Steve McKenzie, one half of the Killer Steves. Over here,
Mr. One Night Stand Steve Cruz, the other half of the Killer Steves.
Y yo soy el luchador de México, Nueva York. Soy el güero loco, Loca Vida.
this is Loca Vida.
From Mexico, New York.
Mexico, New York, which,
Yeah.
where they don't normally speak Spanish as a first language.
They do if you're from Mexico.
Oh.
Because he lives in Mexico, New York, but where are you originally from? Mexico?
Nueva York.
See?
All right. Well, how long have you guys been wrestling?
I've been wrestling about 10.5 years.
10 years.
10 años.
9 years for him.
Okay. How'd you get into this initially?
10?
Yes.
10 years for him.
No sé.
Around 10 for
9
our Mexican friend.
All right.
Loca, I lie about everything Vida.
How'd you get into wrestling?
I originally got into it, I was doing security for a wrestling promoter, I was doing autograph sessions, and started picking up the guys that were coming in for the autograph sessions. We ran a couple shows, I got into it, learned the craft, and here I am 10 years later.
Kraft, macaroni and cheese. Muy bueno.
Kraft macaroni and cheese, nice. I got into wrestling by paying Derek Martell money, and then he trained me.
Okay. Why did you get into wrestling?
Why did I get into wrestling? Because I was just always a fan. It's something I wanted to do.
You wanted to wrestle in a mall.
And I figured if I became a wrestler, women would show me their taters more easily.
I
was correct.
Yeah.
And dudes too. How about you, Loca Vida? How did you? Why and how did you get into wrestling?
Why? Like, why are you
Luchador, wrestler.
Oh, ¿por qué?
Yeah.
Porque siempre había un sueño para mí ser un luchador, porque no sé, pero siempre era mi sueño.
He likes oily men?
No. He actually said, as a child, the only video game he had was pro wrestling for the Nintendo Entertainment System, and he was greatly offended that there was no Mexican wrestlers on there. So he started to train to become a wrestler in hopes to one day be on a pro wrestling video game and be the only luchador on the roster. Right?
It's like a Wayne's World translation.
no.
Dang, it was like this long.
Pienso que lo que dijiste es un poco diferente que lo que digo, pero
I am completely wrong. I am so sorry. His father was one of the conquistadors, and he's just in the family business.
Oh, that makes sense with the mask now. That,
Yeah.
la máscara,
Yeah.
sí.
Yeah.
Yo llevo una
Yeah,
máscara.
that makes sense now.
I was so wrong. I feel like a
That was
jerk.
close. I mean, it's loosely translated.
Yeah, I don't speak
Entonces,
much.
Kraft, taters, la máscara.
Yep,
So we got
Kraft,
potatoes
taters, and
yeah.
Nintendo Entertainment System.
Yeah, that's what got the three of us in wrestling.
All right then. Do you have any highlights from your career that you're particularly proud of?
No tengo highlighter, pero yo tengo un marcador.
No,
not a highlighter. High points. Big event.
Oh,
Grande evento.
Sí, ustedes tres contra First Class, Springgate, Graham, Pan, 3 contra 3 en una lucha extrema.
Springgate's a low point though.
No, big event.
Favorite- no,
Not the show.
Favorite match? Favorite moment? Like balcony dive, JD Love butt cheeks and face.
No, ay por Dios, no.
Poo on a pole.
Sí.
Poo on a pole?
Sí.
He likes his poo on a pole match against JD Love. 2CW.
Do I want to know what that involved?
It involved.
Me on
It
a
was
pole.
there was 4 poles. Each corner had a pole with a bucket hanging from the pole, and inside of each bucket had something special. And the person who found the bucket filled with poo and dumped it onto his opponent was the winner. And not Winnie the Pooh, because that was in one bucket, and JD Love thought he won, but Piglet, the referee, this really happened, said no, and then I believe this man got the bucket of fecal matter.
Sí, yo tuve la mierda.
Yeah.
Y después,
Right on JD Love.
Hijo de amor.
Poop everywhere.
Sí.
And this is a highlight.
Para mí, sí.
All right. What about you guys?
Not being in pool on a
Not
pole.
being in pool on a pole. Yeah. Highlight for Killer Steve's.
It's tough.
Whoa, whoa.
No. That was the boots.
Oh, sí.
Yeah, right. A highlight for me would have to be our first tag team tables match against All Money Is Legal. Even though we were on the losing end, it's probably one of the most memorable matches in 2CW history. And watching this man bounce off of a table roughly nine times one of the most amazing things ever.
How did that feel?
Which time?
Let's say the 9th time.
The 9th time, it felt reliefful. It sucked.
It sucks when they don't break, doesn't it?
It sucked. But I would also call that a highlight. They kind of put Killer Steve's versus All Money Is Legal on the map.
Nice.
Set standards for
When was that?
tables matches. Living on the Edge 2.
2007?
Yeah.
So have you guys done anything with any other like major organizations?
Almost took out Colin's leg.
Studley and I have worked for NWA and AWA. You worked in
Yo entrené con CMLL en México, la Ciudad de México.
I trained with CMLL.
Sí.
That's a big deal for luchador wrestling.
Sí.
I've worked, you know, this company normally is very big. Tonight was, you know,
Yo estuve en un torneo super famoso que se llama Super 8, Super 8, con
He was in Super 8 tournament.
What do you think of the wrestling industry as a whole right now?
the Kriegers.
It's a hole. A hole is a good way to describe it.
Depends on what you're talking about. You're talking about television wrestling, independent wrestling.
Let's do both separately.
Television.
Mainstream wrestling.
Mainstream wrestling is what it is. You know, WWE is the big product. It's more than likely always going to be there. TNA's there. They're I think trying, but it's just not working. Most people, like it said, they've been around what 8, 9 years and 10 years now, and I would say the average wrestling fan doesn't know what it is.
Okay.
So that's not a good thing. Everyone knows WWE. They're doing well. I don't watch too often anymore, but it is what it is. It's wrestling, men in spandex, fighting, or talking a lot, depending on when you flip the TV on.
Para mí, yo prefiero la lucha libre mexicana o japonesa porque es más de un deporte en vez de puro entretenimiento. ¿Entiendes?
You like the Mexican wrestling
Or
pay-per-views?
japonesa.
Or Mexican and Japanese wrestling is what he likes to watch.
Understandable.
That's where he gets his entertainment from. I would say
videos de porn.
He likes porn too.
He likes Mexican porn or Japanese porn?
Todos. De todos.
He likes
all porn.
Apparently,
all porn. And apparently, seems like he's from Mexico, New York. It's legal for him to watch Mexican kiddie porn as long as he doesn't download it and keep it on the computer.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
That's so disturbing.
It's a law now.
¿Qué dijo?
It's a law.
Apparently, that's what you watch.
It's a new law. Yeah.
No, popcorn.
Sure. Yeah. Kettle corn. Yeah.
What do you got?
I would say for me, I like stuff from the 80s, the early WrestleManias. Don't watch much of the stuff that's on TV right now.
What about the independent scene? How do you feel that?
Independence, there's places you work.
Promotion.
There's a bad
20 horrible.
Yeah. We've worked some very scary shows, and we've worked some great shows with great audiences and
Scary
great
how?
locker rooms. Scary as in rings breaking.
The ring, yeah. Like you step in the ring, you think it's going to fall apart. The people are dressed as folding chairs.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's more chairs than people.
Yeah, there's, you get some shady people who don't have proper training, don't really know what it's always like when you go to a new place and you haven't been before, it can be frightening. Like when you look on the roster on the interweb page and it directs you to angelfire.com and you don't know who any of the guys are and they all just look like dudes in t-shirts and like that a-hole Cheech. It can be frightening, but there are some really good promotions out there, and that's what we try to get.
Which promotions do you like?
I like Squared Circle Wrestling.
Okay.
This one.
Right.
Es una gran empresa, uno de mis favoritas.
See what?
Es una gran empresa, es una de mis favoritas.
One of your favorite ones, very impressive.
Wow, you are
I would also-
fledged Mexican now.
Well, I speak a little bit of French. I also
so-
kiss that way, so I can understand him a little bit. But I like 2CW. I've worked a lot of the promotions in New York. Had fun at some, and glad that I'm not booked on some anymore. I'll leave it at that.
What do you think of like some of the mid-range promotions like Ring of Honor and CZW and?
Ring of Honor is definitely one of the tops. I mean, they got a huge following. Some of the guys from 2CW are on it. A lot of the guys that are on a lot of the indie shows that I've been on recently, since coming back to New York, have been on Ring of Honor. You know, they definitely have some good talent there. Some
National television.
national television, you know, weekly. Yeah, it's definitely a help.
All right, do you guys have web presence, like web pages, anything?
I just got my Facebook page, Steve
Look at
O'Cruz.
Just Facebook?
Facebook and Twitter, Steve McKenzie 00.
Yo tengo un live journal, es muy popular.
Live Journal, really?
Sí.
Do you want to plug your MySpace too?
No me gusta nada MySpace. Es for
He
you.
is also on Facebook, but I have no idea what the URL is. It's
Facebook,
probably
Loca, Vida.
Facebook.com
No tengo
/
ninguna
I'm a
idea.
Mexican guy in a mask, and I like pro wrestling for Nintendo. It's probably the URL.
It's a very long one.
It's tough. Just
It
find
used
them
to
on
be abbreviated, but there's no way to pronounce it.